stupid question, something I noticed. We never say so-and-so left the meeting, like if somebody comes in. Is that necessary? I just don't, on our hospital board, if somebody leaves the room, you know, or we have somebody.
One of the board
They left
members, you mean?
Board member or, you know, somebody on the
Comes
agenda.
in.
Really?
Yeah, otherwise you think they're there the entire time. But, I mean, we're not gonna change anything now, you know, but.
We always used to know if someone came late,
Yeah.
but they arrived, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
After that, they should have sent a list of the rule, unless they left for the duration of the
Left
meeting.
for, yeah, left for the day.
Because that would say, well, they didn't vote, voted for something, they were voting.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But they just went, all stepped out, and came back.
Yeah.
We never did.
And I think we do that if somebody leaves.
Yeah. Left out that time.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, pretty good sales.
When you and I leave today at 11:20, it'll be recorded.
Yeah.
These guys will still be working, but you and I are leaving.
I'll go back up for them and we'll be over.
Get outside and take advantage of this last nice day.
I know it. I was miserable.
God, I had plans to do so much work yesterday, been putting it off, and then wait, it's cool weather, and boys came over and got the Ranger wash, that was it.
I gotta get mine.
After my second meeting, I'm getting Mr. Falls.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
hopefully that's done by 2 o'clock so I can get.
Hospital meeting this afternoon then too, or? You had good food down at the baseball center. The burger was excellent. Broth was good.
Oh, it's a wild night.
Was it? There's a ton of people show up for that, isn't there, every week?
Especially when you have the T-bone.
Yeah,
That is-
yeah. That's so funny, those kids are still trying to figure out which way to run after they hit the ball. They go to third base or first base.
We'll begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Any additions or corrections to the minutes?
One thing I noticed, if I can find it here, was, well, we talked about one place when Gary came in and we said we're not gonna do anything, and then when Dylan came in, we said the same thing, we're not gonna do it. Is that just redundant, or did you mean to have it in there twice?
We don't have to.
States it, yeah, he was in on a public comment, I think, wasn't he?
Right.
Then it said, commissioners are advised by state's attorney to hold off adopting a resolution at this time, and then when Dylan comes in and says, Kirschner recommended no action on proposal brought forth by Gary Shell, so eliminate one or the other, or
I could just delete that one.
either one would be fine, I would think, but that's all I had.
Under Sherry's direct of equalization, see where was that?
Third one
Right after
down.
public comment.
There we go. I'd like to have you add that, that I've directed Gamber to correspond, and I'll give you this note, with South Dakota Department of Revenue regarding change of appraisal schedule and record a written response. I know there's a lot of verbiage there, but I could see some potential for us having
Falling off our,
some problems there.
So you've got it written down.
Yeah, I'll give you that. And then under our resolution 2021-29, Don, was there something in our draft copy that talked about proximity to city limits?
Yeah.
Is that in here
I
somewhere?
don't see it here.
Is
because,
it 3 miles or something?
well,
wasn't it?
that's what I was thinking, but I don't know if it's in here. I don't think I read it, that there was a restriction where it's got following rules applicable to the issuance of a new package off-sale liquor license.
They're gonna be the same price regardless anyway, aren't they?
Well, it's not so much the price.
But I think the proximity would be under the 21, 28 where it's the liquor license. That changes with the, isn't that the reason for the,
Does that speak to the 3 mile?
well, no, but it goes all within 3 miles that are
Oh,
400?
it's
Or is
the
that-
marijuana issue that's within 3 miles.
It's the marijuana, not the off-sale?
No, it's
Right.
the off sale also.
The off sale too?
Off sale, they cannot apply.
Oh, yeah,
for
the new thing,
The off,
yeah,
for an
Yeah,
off
Package.
package.
yes.
But it's not in here.
No,
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
So that
Okay,
needs
so
to
we
be
can add
added.
that and amend it next week? Would that be okay?
Whatever the process is
Okay.
to do it, the way we had
Okay,
our draft resolution that we read.
all right.
All right. You bet. Is there a motion to approve the amended minutes and today's agenda? Is there a vote?
The agenda is gonna change, Sherry's not coming in, but Jay's here.
Okay, Jay's taking our place. Okay. There's a motion by Zempel, is there a second? Carlson, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Any public comment from anyone?
Okay. I got a couple things real quick. I ran into Francis Crawford. He's one of the leaders at the Traverse District. And he had 2 things he wanted me to mention. One, he's just recently got a resolution through the tribe to change the name where their Lake Travis building sits. The road going up to that is a gravel road. Apparently the guy that used to own this land many, many years ago was a native man, and they were wanting to honor this guy by wondering if they could change the name of that road to whatever his name is, which I can't remember. I said, I'd certainly bring it up, but he was gonna send me a copy of their resolution. And I said, the only thing that I thought would certainly be the case is if we're gonna change the name of a sign, he'd have to pay for it. And if it had to run into the newspaper for a period of time, they'd probably be responsible for those kinds of things. But I said, yeah, go ahead and submit it, and we'll run it past the board and see what they think, and if there's no issue, I think you go forward with it. The other thing he said is, they had something, they gave me this long application, it's Assistant Wapaton Housing Authority 2021 CARES Emergency Rental Assistant Application. And the point he tried to make to me, or did make to me, was that this is available to anybody, not just tribal members. And this is a big form you've got to fill out, but Jason, I don't know if you guys would have any interest in the newspaper in trying to find out more about it. He said they have an office in the old Rosalie's Bakery on Main Street, and that we could talk down to them, find out what the qualifications are, maybe it's something to just a public service announcement you guys might want to put in the newspaper, but it's open to any and everybody, so if you want this, I'll give this to you.
We printed that,
Oh,
actually.
you printed that? Okay, so you've got a copy of it then.
Yep.
But, yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to check in and do a public service announcement. It sounds like it might be able to help some people otherwise, so. And that's all I had.
I was contacted by some constituents up in my district about noxious weeds that are showing up more so with the dry conditions that we've had. And I'll take this up with Leland when he comes in at 11 o'clock. But there's some neighbors that are doing a really good job of controlling, especially leafy spurge and others that aren't doing anything to the property. That's all I have. Anything else? Okay, Jay, thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm looking at replacing this is one of 3 books that we have. The data or the information in here dates back to like 1949 to roughly about 2000, so there's about 50 years of history in this book. Something that we use every day. title company uses it every day. We have to come in, want to do a search on land or whatever, they use this book. This is like the second set of books. The first one has been done. The ones that we have right now are in really good shape that we currently use every day. This middle set of books are 3. Just they're getting down, I had to take it up there because it's got a wood binder and then get the slivers. From it, when you pull it out, roughly $800 to just for the covers for 3 of these books this size.
A piece?
No, for all
For
3.
all.
Yeah. Yeah, they're roughly fastest runs and the breakdown. They're different sizes. We have one that's thicker than this. Just to preserve, we use the M&P money. I think we cut roughly 16,000 or something in there. To have this done, and we would do it ourselves. And we would just order the cover. That would just be the cost of the cover. So it'd be something that we would be able to go along with. This one is probably about the same shape as the other one that we have. One doesn't do too much.
That'd be a good use of the M&P funds. That's
Absolutely.
restricted anyway, and that's, like I said, that'd be a good use of it. Is there a motion to approve I do have a purchase order here for $799.70. Is there a motion to approve by Miguel? Second by Zempel. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right.
Can I have your tweezers then when you get those new book numbers here?
Yeah. I didn't include that.
Oh.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
We got the gas pump thing out at the jail. And so we got a bill the other day from CHS for the tank. And it was $2,800. But then they also included, they have a 3-year plan. And so they have like $933.33 that we would pay over 3 years. Is it really necessary to have to go to this payment plan? Don't you think it's better off just paying for it, $2,800? Okay. I don't know how that, I talked to Natalie Statler out there, and she said, well, yeah, it's kind of it's paying for them and paying for our office. So, if it's okay with you, I did talk to Tyler about it.
This is another bill to keep popping up.
Yeah, every 3 years,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like $2,800, it's not like it's $280,000.
Right.
Okay,
That's
so I
what I
will
mean.
contact Natalie.
We hired that other deputy now, to see that bill for his gun.
He did hire one. He told us last week that he hired one.
He must be full-time
Yeah.
now.
File sticker.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I have a stupid question. Lake Pelican, where's Lake Pelican?
Lake Pelican,
Great water, great unsalted water company.
Why are we paying Lake Pelican?
because they're a part of, they have a little part in Roberts County, so we collect taxes
Okay,
on them. It's just like the school taxes, it's just a little piece, and there's, I don't know how many parcels are involved in it, and we collect taxes on it. And then, so we pay it into the Lake Pelican district. They request dollars just like an ambulance district. And you don't see it very often, because sometimes it's maybe 40-some cents in the account, and then
Jeez.
we'll just keep it until, first we'll maybe do it every 6 months or so.
Did we ever do anything formal on the e-dispatch thing? With Haygood? Did I miss it?
Told him no.
Yeah, we decided not to participate with that.
Okay.
Didn't feel it was a county function.
I didn't notice it in the minutes, but I probably missed it.
I think it was there.
Yeah.
Because it was the June 1st meeting, so, okay.
It was the following week then.
Okay.
And then last week, we talked, when Jerry was here, we talked about that request for a refund.
Mhm.
And we were supposed to write a letter to
Yeah.
Nielsen. She's been out on the road. She's out on the road again today. And she was gone yesterday. So we just kind of have, I just started a letter, but I really don't know exactly what you guys want us to say, I guess. It was at 114 feet to 109 feet.
Right. His contention was that 33 feet of right of way were part of his property with the that just after reviewing it, we determined that
33 feet is,
the proper distance was 100, was they showed 109.
okay,
So
yeah,
therefore, we're going to deny your request for refund.
okay.
But if he wants to come back and apply for the 5 feet, that, it's a good too much, was on the books, I'm not sure he measured it.
Okay.
But if he needs more explanation, you can just call Sherry.
Yeah, yeah, just say, if any questions about
Just the big kid is that road,
it.
right?
Right.
Yeah, but his contention was because the fence was there, he couldn't use the property, like, it's his fence now.
If the fence is here, and also, now that fence is on your property.
That's right, it's yours, you can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
I got a familiar face by the end of the table.
Yeah.
Two.
Oh, boy.
On number 4, I just have a question on that. We met, Roberts County Board met with, yeah, we didn't, is phone conversation this?
If you participate by phone, that's fine.
Okay, so we don't need, yeah,
By telephone.
okay, all right.
Are we supposed to read it, or did you take that and notarize it?
I think you did, right?
Does it have to be sign in front of you or just sign it?
I'm watching.
Okay.
I have eyes all over everything. I'm mother, but so they're not in the back of my head.
Okay. I'm not sure what that Latin is in there. Further offense saith not.
You're not
What
saying
did I say?
That's the end.
Does it mean I said no?
Mr. Rice, we wanted to have the school board attorney look it over before we signed it. It's like, okay, really, what part of this don't you? It's like, I was on the consolidated board, we met, we talked about this stuff, we decided it. As far as I know, Dawn sent the step out, and I haven't been served with anything. Which one of those facts don't you know?
Yeah. I think that saving not thing confused me.
But if you needed to have somebody look it over, then go and look it over. That's what it is. I want you to mention it.
Is Gordon, the school's attorney?
He works, they also contract, I think, with somebody in here. It used to be at Sonati Freeman's office, I'm not sure what it is, but he does a lot of school law. Gordon has done some stuff for them also for the school.
She kind of a conflict of interest, wouldn't
He goes to go, because Gordon has represented.
In the past, but not on this petition. Yeah. Remember that last one he went through, he said he wouldn't represent him again.
it? I know what you're saying, that he's representing a recipient of tax dollars and at the same time you say that. Kind of
Maybe.
both sides covered, don't you?
Yeah, it could be.
So sign the deal.
Yeah.
And you won't have to worry about going to court except for the hearing on the motion to dismiss. Because, Dylan said, Jim has been talking about he's gonna need 4 hours of court time. And he said it's one thing that he's got over 4,100 pages of documents from the state. Well, if he thinks the judge is gonna sit there and go through that, it's great. And the gentleman from the city has already signed their affidavits for us, so Mr. Stapleton and Mr. Johnson.
Okay, good.
We'll get that probably tomorrow. And got a road trip today, so.
Okey dokey.
And Dylan will not be coming over, he's getting ready, the court wants to go meet the new judge.
Could be a young looking guy, wasn't he?
Yeah,
How old, do you know how old he was by cancer?
my guess is he might be, he's somewhere between 25 and 30 probably.
I would have even said 40, but yeah, he was pretty young looking, I thought, but.
He was the law clerk for the Fifth Circuit, I don't know, 2-3 years ago probably, which means he's probably, he might be 5 years out of law school, so maybe 6, I don't know.
Oh, it's a pretty big deal then, going pretty quick.
Well, the rest of us are getting older and more details.
Yeah. Is that gonna help our situation here with, I mean, I saw he was assigned to Aberdeen, right?
He's doing what Judge McGarrett was before Judge McGarrett became a circuit judge. He does Aberdeen basically 4 days a week, you're one day.
One, just one, okay, all right.
They can also make this else in the circuit. The circuit judge is assigned, but his primary station is in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
They go back and work there at least 3 days a week. They do initial appearances Mondays and Fridays, at least unless they change the schedule. Wednesdays is going to be preliminary hearings and court trials and all that kind of stuff. And Thursdays, I don't know if he's going to take over, if Judge McGarrett's going to keep the drug court, DUI court thing, but that kind of be Thursdays and small claims morning or afternoon, I think other times. So, we'll be here Tuesdays, I think, with the schedule, unless the presiding judge, who's Judge 20, decides to change something, must be that.
Okay.
That's kind of the way it's been for long now. It really wanted to meet with them a little bit, already got started. And still citing people coming to court, so they're waiting for a calendar. So that's all I've got for you, what do you do for the office?
Thank you for your work on that.
Yeah, absolutely, thank you.
It'll get back, it'll get back. I asked Dylan, I think we have a jury trial next week on 1st and 2nd. And of course, being that it's the 1st of July, we have a whole new jury panel.
Oh, boy.
I looked at the list and it's like, Robert Duty again. He's on the list, potential jurors. Don't think he'll sit on any criminal cases. And he might be, I don't remember, he sat as an alternate on the trial. It's got to be probably 3 years ago, or 4 years ago. If you've actively served in the last 2 years, which is difficult, too, we haven't done a lot of jury trials in the last couple of years. But if you actively served in 2 years on a jury, you can be excused or serving, but anyway.
Is there a number that says that if you live in Roberts County for X amount of years, the likelihood of you being on the jury is, you know, you're gonna be on, or you're not gonna be on, or 1 in 10 chance you're gonna get nothing like that?
It's all computerized stuff. It's based on voter registration and driver's licenses.
Can't volunteer?
And I'm not sure how they pick it, because there's some junction stuff, I swear to God, I see it, some people, every couple of years, there's stuff on there. Then we're going to stuff. But of course, you look at that and go, okay, so how many people do we have living in Alco and Monroe Townships?
Yeah.
Because some of those places, unless you have the great municipalities like Peter and Rossville, so it's a lot of system, obviously.
Once, I think I've been back 16 years ago.
I'd like to be on it. I think we got interstate.
And I got excused because I had a
You'd like to be on jury trial?
I don't know if I can do it for a whole year. It's for a whole year though, right?
No, if the pedigree and people that the cases are tried to and you get a verdict, guilty now, they're on for probably they're on for 6 months.
Oh.
Some of the bigger counties, they're on for 3 to 4 months, and they do 3 to 4 months. Roberts County, it's 6 months.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting.
The grand juries that help, that Dylan owns the grand jury about once a month now, it's kind of been, we help charge people. They are good for a year. They're on for a year.
And did they have to, I think they had someone, they had to go out to Rapid City? I mean, did they have to cover the whole state, these people, or? Someone was on jury trial, they said he had to go out to Rapid City for something.
That's federal.
That's federal, okay.
That's federal. Federal grand jury.
That's a big imposition for a lot of people, traveling all the way out there.
But obviously you don't want to get the federal circuit or the federal district judge kicked off of you, especially if you're a marshal. Full disclosure, because you never heard about that one. Judge Cornwell had a U.S. Marshal, Deputy Marshal, 30 people reported from him. And he insisted that the marshal disclose whether or not the marshal was fully vaccinated, because he didn't want anybody to go fully vaccinated. And the marshal said, and the marshal service, the policy was you don't have to disclose that. Judges just you will. So that person left and took some of the prisoners with that person, with that marshal. And so they couldn't do some of the other hearings till they caught up with everybody. And now he's got a thing, he's actually potentially pursuing criminal obstruction of justice charges against the marshals. He had a show cause hearing to hold them in civil contempt for not doing that. And he's saying, as a U.S. District Judge, I have the authority to tell you whether or not you can disclose that to me. And they're going like, well, our policy says we don't have to, and I'm not going to tell you.
That whole vaccination thing is gonna get really ugly, isn't it? It's just, there's gonna be so many lawsuits.
Somebody needs to back his ego back into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's that way with, I mean, he's a senior judge at this point, so he's like semi-retired. And there's times that, if we've had attorneys that, you know, they're scheduled for court here, and it's like, oh, I got to schedule something for federal court. Federal court trumps everything. I mean, you cannot, it doesn't matter if you've got, you know, a whole jury panel waiting for you here. You will be in court. I don't know about the federal court judges, but he's particularly that way.
That's Corman, you said?
Corman, yeah. He's 81 something right now. Like I said, he's taking senior status, so he only takes the cases that he wants.
That's kind of strange, you can kind of pick and choose. You can see a conflict of interest there, couldn't you?
Like I said, he's senior status, so he can,
Oh.
I mean, obviously, if the chief judge in the district assigns something to him, otherwise, it's kind of like, okay, I'll do this kind of stuff. The judges will anyway. Okay, that's not a serious lesson.
Thanks for the info. Goodbye.
Yeah.
How's Coleen's brother doing?
Well, he got out and to go to his mother-in-law's funeral yesterday. And then brother was going to take him to get a PICC line and grab him a few antibiotics. Looks good. And the test on the blood didn't come back with anything that they were, and so I'm not sure what's going on.
Did you say you guys were up late? Were you up late?
He's still very ill. Yeah, because I didn't get out of the hospital. Anyway, they drove from Washington State. Cats are out, somebody's babysitting their cats out in Carroll. See everyone's got
Is that worth putting that much, is it worth putting that much money in that 1992 pickup? So,
Oh,
Oh, that's that transmission?
yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't know.
I don't know what, you know,
Yeah, you got a point there. I guess you wouldn't get nothing for it now, but did you ever check out a water line or no? Or did you-
I suppose any one-ton four-wheel drive pickup's gotta be worth $4,000 or $5,000 by itself.
Yeah, you wouldn't get nothing for it now, and it's got the spray out of it.
those all stay.
I don't
Think that goes with this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bunch, $2,500 basically.
Well, if it was half ton, you couldn't see that replacement, the one ton's not suited to plant.
I suppose, yeah, that's true.
And it's four-wheel drive, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, transmission cooler.
We did a lot of, the guys called me and did a lot of updates on it, the old one didn't have them.
I never heard of that guy. Carroll Automotive?
He took over Anders, Madison, on Main Street.
Oh, right in the corner there?
Then I'm going.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I saw a bill come through on the trailer that Doug got, so I
Oh, yeah.
assume we don't need to do anything other on that because we'll just approve the bills.
I didn't see it, the chassis is in there, I didn't hope you bought it
How
over
big
there.
was that trailer then?
It'll hold a 4x8 sheet. And it's a little bit wider than that. I think it's maybe 5x8. The front end kind of is adjustable, so you can make it a little bit shorter or longer. And it was advertised as galvanized, but when I picked it up, it's all aluminum.
Yeah, that's,
You could scrap it out and get $700 worth of aluminum out of
yeah, I
it.
think so.
No, it's a handy little thing, so.
Yeah.
Who had it?
Gentleman down in Browns Valley.
Terry Buer,
Oh, Terry Bueller, okay.
Oh, it's some good.
not Bumer, Buer,
Oh,
the
oh,
one that
oh.
married to Jan,
Yeah, I know one. Yeah, right by the river there. Yeah.
Jan Rao, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
They live like the first house from Goodhart's.
Yep, they've just been fixing up that house. I think they moved back from Fargo or something, right?
Yeah, I think they I'm not sure if they're retired. I know last year they spent lake drivers in the golf yard.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of, I was surprised at all the people that took Friday off, when it just got signed in, Bill on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then I see that the tribe took it off too, and there's a bunch of people in there saying, since when do we become a extension of the federal government, you know? We have a job to do, let's get our work done, blah, 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 but, yeah, I was surprised.
So, yeah, I mean, out of 66 counties, but there weren't that many of them that voted. So,
Personally, I don't think my constituents would go along with recognizing it
No?
at all. I don't think they would. Because Biden and Harris thinks it's a good idea, I don't know that, you know, that it would be forced on us, that I think it's a good idea to recognize that day.
Well, we're not obligated to do that. How many vacation days do they get now, 10?
yeah.
10 holidays?
Just something to think about, you know,
I guess I wouldn't mind giving them an extra holiday,
when you're
but
doing.
what I would rather see them have probably like that day after Thanksgiving, it's always in question, you know? We're gonna get it off, we're not gonna get off, and most of the time, in recent years, we haven't given it to them, but I think last year we did. I'd say, fine, take that day off, you know?
Christmas Day or whatever.
Or whatever,
I would agree, yeah.
I would much rather.
Yeah, I'd have a problem giving an extra day.
Yes, I
Because I mean, our only cost associated with this is the overtime out of the jail and law enforcement, I guess, we have to shut us down.
We use the highway, that doesn't work Friday anyway.
Then they take another day off, or you're gonna pay them holiday pay, I
But it's
suppose.
not always on a Friday.
Well, day after Thanksgiving.
Oh, the day after,
Yeah.
oh, okay, sorry, I thought you were still on this holidays. Well, it's just something to think about.
You know, I don't know why they don't set all holidays on Monday or the government.
I agree, Mondays and Fridays, they should always be, stretch out the week.
Not
What do you
Christmas.
have a holiday on?
I wouldn't.
So are you gonna come back to work on Monday and then?
Personally,
Or Friday?
And you lose 2 days, because Monday they'll go out anyhow.
They're not productive.
The people that I
Yeah.
represent would not be in favor of it.
Actually, my wife argues with me all the time. I thought years ago they passed a rule that said if it was on a,
Take off.
falls on a Saturday, it's on a Friday, if it falls on a Sunday, it's on a Monday. But apparently that's not all holidays.
Legal services take off the day customers can't.
Okay. But yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
Stretch out
what
the
a day to
weekends.
celebrate.
Well,
Not in favor.
you know, bring on, we figure that out, as long as they, you know, there's no use having them work on the day on the sixth, because it was not
Right,
productive anyway.
right.
And we needed crews of people to operate.
Yeah.
Sure.
And she knows, well, that only happens, it happens during vacation.
Something they can plan for as
So
well.
let's just shut down.
Well, it's like that for like
In the
Christmas Eve, because then you have potluck lunch or something like that, no one's working, so.
Christmas fell on Tuesday, we took Monday off as well. It fell on Thursday, we took Friday off. So
Okay.
everybody's coming for one day.
Yeah. Well, especially if you got equipment to fire up and.
Yeah.
Miss Tim decides we needed a break.
We need to come in, but what do you think about holiday? I mean, I don't have a problem giving a day off.
I'm torn, but yet when I look at what we already do, you know, Martin Luther King, third Monday in January, we do Native American Day and, you know, October.
Taking a break or not taking a break? Okay.
Yeah, if we gave, honestly, I'd rather see it,
See, I think we already give kind of in a sense.
Yeah.
day.
kinda.
Well, I brought these reports in for 0-60 and 61 through, or 31 through 60 are a little inflated because it's close
It's
to
that time of month.
Yeah.
Look at that guy wearing a sweatshirt today, holy cow.
It's chilly out there this morning.
Thank you.
Gentlemen,
Guess I didn't bring you one, Don.
I did.
Oh, you give it to her?
Yeah.
You paid off, huh?
But as you notice, there is no customer 8 anymore on in
Wow.
that. He's totally paid up.
perfect. Good job, Beezer.
And he's done?
Pardon me?
You've done all of it?
No, he's gonna pay half every time.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
He writes a signed check and leaves it till he actually hauls 3-4 loads, then writes it out.
Wow, good deal.
That's a good deal.
So
Absolutely.
he's doing that with, he's paid off that previous,
Yeah, everything's paid off.
and what is he doing now when he comes in? Is
He
he,
writes a check, starts the check in lane.
so no longer
No
charges?
longer charging.
His choice.
His choice.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wow, good.
Well, Matt Norman hasn't moved in and started bailing metal up, so that's gonna be a long, struck-out period before him.
Got a lot of loads there, holy crap.
Yeah. You
How
know,
many times took over?
yeah, I think it was like 80 ton.
Already?
And hardly even scratched the pile.
Jesus.
He's talking, when I talked to him, he just got out of Webster and he took 315, I believe he said, ton out of there, and he goes, if they had 315, he got 600.
Jeez.
Really? Wow. Did he give you just a rough price of it?
You know, nobody has it. But I'm sure it's gonna be in that $60 range.
You're paying, just saying, if you haul it right out the heavy, you did around $100, but then he's coming all it out.
Crushing it.
But he's taking it to probably a better market area, you know, he's talking about the
Yeah.
cities or down Iowa.
Oh, really, that far?
Something like that.
Is he there every day then? So that
No, he was in there, he pulled in last Thursday evening, to his fire equipment. Excuse me. He took off those 2 loads on Friday. He said he'd be back, if he could make it back on Monday night, he'll be here today. I haven't seen him back. I got clearance out there, knocking the hay down, so we don't waste any hay out there, so Bates is supposedly moving in, probably end of the week, pushing next week.
Okay.
So, one of the big things is, I'm talking about to Steve Finson about building those portable fences. Because I ain't gonna be able to put fence over, piggybacking over that other grab cell. I ain't gonna be able to dig holes, put posts in the ground. So I gotta have, and, if I do the whole thing, I need 500 feet. Okay? He come up, took a picture of them, gave me a call late last week and said it'd be about $675 per unit. They'd be
20 footers.
feet long, 6 feet deep, 8 foot tall. And
What does that equal?
Yeah.
so there's
20 into 500.
about 20 units would be $13,500.
Well, I know it ain't cheap, but.
One thing about it, they're there forever, as long as you take care of them. You
You
know.
can still keep moving them around where you want them.
In the future too, you know, when you take them over the next cell.
You said you can't dig posts, why is that? It just.
It's a liner.
You're gonna go into.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, I understand, yeah, understand,
Take that
yeah.
and that other one.
So they're just like these regular corral panels then? I mean, they,
They look like a catcher's backstop.
oh,
I did
oh,
think-
sure, okay, yeah, with the, chain link fence on the back then, yeah, all right, yeah.
This is a 4-foot, somewhat.
Sure, yeah, okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that what, you got something like that?
I got some that in the old cell now. These ones I'd probably take over there also, but I only got like 6 or 7 of these. But I put down in the pit right alongside the garbage. So the wind blows originally, it catches it there, doesn't have to wait till it gets all the way to wherever it's going.
You stake them down or they hold themselves?
They hold themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, these yoke them out of.
So he's already making them?
No. And I just, he gave me this quote. He's using 2 7/8 inch oil pipe, 24 foot long, 6 foot wide, and 8 foot tall.
Pretty
That's
heavy.
about 675 each. And you can go all around.
Have you had much trouble tipping over or anything?
No. These are probably gonna be heavier than the ones I built, but mine are built just.
I was gonna say, these are-
Channel here. But I'd like to get you guys' opinion on that as soon as possible, so I can get started.
What else can you do with it?
Yeah, and it's not like they use them once and throw them away, like you said, you have to use them forever, I guess.
As long as you take care of them. probably have to stay up in the ridge for the next 4 years or so, or this cell. But once we move
Makes sense.
to another location, we just bring them with us.
I guess that'd be for it.
Yeah, I think it makes sense as well, you know, along that same line too, Beezer, is it, as long as you're talking portable, and this next cell that you're building will have to be covered up in another 4 or 5 years, and the building that needs to house the compactor, is there some design that you could use to make that portable as well?
I've been talking to people, I talked to Dakota Shed, and I talked to Old Hickory Buildings, they're in Minnesota, Dakota Shed's the one in Watertown. And they, right now, don't do anything that size. That's what would be portable.
Well, what size would have to be disposed of?
You're talking, the dozer on the front of the machine is 12 foot wide, so you need a 14-inch garage door.
Yeah.
And you need 14 foot high, so you're talking
It's a big
20 foot sidewalls. And you're probably talking 25 feet wide by 30 feet long.
You almost have to get it in half, wouldn't you? and start to move it.
Yeah, I'm still gonna call Melvin and House Move and see if they can, if they point you in the right direction. Anyway, or something. It's gonna have to be something, I don't know if it's something that, they would recommend that we go ahead and pull it down. Then when we come move it, we just jack out, move it, pull it down.
Yeah, if they could tell you how to construct it so it's easier to pick up or something, you know, too. Typically, I know those guys, just to pick up a building before they even move, it's about $5 grand, depending on the size of the building, so. But that's busting up concrete, the foundation, that whole thing. If this was more readily set up to be moved, it may be easier.
Unless they just put it on some kind of heavy-duty skids, metal frame. That
Drag it.
And then anchor it, you know, and then unanchor it, slide it down the road.
Well, it's gotta be heated too, right?
Yeah, it's gonna have to be heated. So it'll be insulated.
Yeah.
I don't know right where I can go with it yet. I'm talking Larry, the north or the south side of the cell is gonna have a 30-foot wide approach on it. Everything else is just gonna be like 15 feet, nothing right around. But over there, where originally the start, where we have to have trucks running around
Yeah.
and stuff like that, that's gonna be 30 feet or something like that, 34 feet wide. Maybe on the very end of that, I can put that building way over to the west of the new cell, or the east of the new cell, I should say, on the south corner.
Then when you got that cell filled up and you move to the next cell, how far would you have to drag it, would you guess, at that point?
Well, it'd be a ways over there. Depends on their new designer, where he's gonna put that new cell. You know, if he puts it over on that, way in the south, which is where I think they're gonna be, because that's probably where the new EJ pond eventually gonna have to be built, and then start guarding some of it, just like that stage thing we did before. Because it all goes uphill to the north there, so you're gonna have your natural drainage
Yeah.
to get down to that pond. Hopefully they can stay away from pumps.
That gets expensive.
That might be a tough drag.
Yeah, that's pretty big and pretty.
When you get insulated, and, especially you might have to build it in sections that you could disassemble and take half,
Right.
do half of it at a time or something, fourths or whatever.
Yeah, we have to take off like them intercept housing with buildings. They use that big old pads, you know, set them up and rope them together, you know, and then you take them apart.
Yeah.
Steve might have some ideas on that, he's pretty creative.
Who's that?
Steve Finnison might have some
Yeah.
ideas on that.
But, is it go on giving Steve a call today and start building?
I would,
Yeah.
to get those defense panels started. yeah.
Don't have it.
And there's some building, you know, so.
You want that in the form of a motion, Don? I think we should. Is there a motion by the board, by Carlson, second by Johnston? Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And that's Steve Finnison.
Steve Finnison to build the portable fence panels.
And this is just the frame, we gotta put our white one. but that's no big deal, because we got all that wire already taken down, that we 12-foot sections in good shape, it's just a weather under. So,
So it would be that, what I call chicken wire kind of stuff, or is it like chain link fence?
well, I might just go with that 2x4 welded fence
Okay.
that we already have.
Yeah, okay, 2x4, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
2 inches wide by 4 inches tall squares.
Okay.
We got a call lock like that's on our specific existing site, so.
Okay.
But other than that, everything's going all right, busy.
Good. Did you get your new skid steer yet, or?
No, we haven't. I called up and tried to talk to Doug, and I just keep him in his machine. So I'll have to call up, right to Cat itself, Bobcat, and hold him for me.
Did you sign a purchase agreement on that?
Yes.
To get locked in on the price that,
Yeah, but only thing there is we're locking at 850 hours. Right now, we're at 860 something.
So you can take a bit of a deduct.
he won't return your phone call, huh?
Well, he hasn't, no. So I'm sure I'm talking to Doug, and that's the number I got.
Yeah.
Give him a call.
But I'll have to call right up to Bobcat itself and see if they can get it for me. All right, well, anything else?
I get a personal question. I get a haul, like a old pressure washer out there. If I dump all the gas and oil out of there, just throw it in the metal then? It's got rubber tires on it, but just,
Yeah.
okay.
Like wheelbarrows, all that.
Yeah, okay.
No problem.
Okey-doke.
Well, anything else, I'll get back out there. We got a sorter over now.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, good job on this, appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yesterday, it was pretty short, and we went by the, yeah, should help us now.
Sure.
Head plates in it. Big old, took a huge one out of where me and Jamie both had to carry it.
I see, look at a whole pile of iron, man.
You look at that.
Pretty kind.
You got on that ride?
Yeah.
At Genius last week?
No, I didn't, but I seen, heard there's a lot of people that do it.
Yeah. You been out there before?
I haven't, Kevin says he was there 2 years ago, he said it was a blast.
I was there this year, and they said it was a short because of the rain made it, some of the roads they went on, or hillside were pretty greasy, but yeah, it was quite a fun time.
Yeah, Kevin said he did it 2 years ago, and he said it was a blast. He wanted to do it last year, but see, Kayla, or my niece's boy is born, or his birthday's about this time, so
Oh,
she
sure.
does his birthday every
Yeah.
year on Father's Day, so it kind of messes up our chances of doing it.
Yeah, check it out, it's a lot of fun. I think they said about 170 people, which must have been 100 if it raised me from four-wheelers, the motorcycles, the Jeeps, holy cow, Chris Huber's got this
Big,
black
huge
Can-Am.
thing, yeah.
I don't know what that thing's got for horsepower, but he just going straight down the road, just gooses it, two big old rooster tails just fly up in the air, that thing's kind of all right, nobody business.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I'd like to do it one time just to say I did it. but-
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Well, it was here.
Yeah.
plan one, it's got a little weaker inside the bigger one. It'd be really accurate. Compared to what the news said, yeah. Weed, actually. Kind of that night and then, so. Enough for the grass, but not much else.
So when you go down to Sioux Falls, do you drive by with the building, an Amazon building?
Yeah, but I'm not exactly sure. It must be on this side of the road by the,
Have the Harvey out
I think if you head down, it's on the right side a little bit, you know, when they put up that big white refrigerated storage building here a couple of years ago, it's maybe, I don't know, off of 90 and 29 must be this way, a couple, 30 miles or something, right on the edge of town, but you should be able to see it from here, see it, I think. That, I just saw a picture of it
No,
on
we went
TV,
to Minneapolis.
lit up at night, and they just kind of pan the whole thing, it's just huge, it's just incredible.
Not bad.
Right when we get 1,000 workers from.
yeah.
Sunday afternoon
Yeah.
going in. to the city.
There's something on the news they're talking about, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there's 17,000 open jobs in South Dakota right now, and only 3,000 people on unemployment, so you're never gonna get all these jobs filled.
No,
Doesn't make any sense.
but it's been there for a long time, so.
Yeah. But like in Minnesota now, I think this week, they're, in Brown Valley, they're opening up that new Dollar General. And someone said that their offer pays $8 an hour, like, you ain't way to work for $8 an hour. So I don't know if they're gonna be open or not, but.
You guys can look that over. I am not sure.
You know, back to our June 19th holiday thing, maybe we should just leave it as is, because it could, on our employee policy, it could fall under any other proclaimed holidays and days may be granted with approval of county commissioners. I mean, don't say yes or no, just at this time, you know, let us give it some thought or something, and not say yes or no. That's just my opinion.
Well, and we can do it during the reorganization process, you know, the first part of January, if you guys feel that that's something you want to do, but
What should fit into our budget process as well, because it's gonna cost us money to do it, you know, for jail.
Right.
Not a lot, but every time you give them vacations, they'll have $3,000-4,000 out there, I think,
Yeah.
for overtime, or.
But I just wanted to send that out to you prior to today, you know.
Yeah, I guess myself, I wouldn't have a problem giving an extra day off for, but whether it's Juneteenth or something else, I guess, it's.
I like your idea of the Friday after Thanksgiving, and that's something that people can plan
count
in
on,
advance, can count on it, and it's, you know, it's always a big debate on
Yeah.
should you or shouldn't you.
Whatever they decide, I'm going to give a day when they, you know. What do you think, Tom?
I don't,
But figured out something going into 2022 would be.
yeah, not this year.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything.
Wait and see what happens with,
You can, that way we can do it.
it's over this year anyway, so it doesn't apply to next year anyway.
Well, I see some of them were considering giving 8-hour vacation time to everybody, which would be really expensive because,
Yeah.
I mean, you shut down the courthouse, it doesn't really cost you any money. The loss of production, but you don't really lose any money, but you had to give everybody 8 hours holiday pay. Now you have times 70 people, that's, I guess, a pretty number.
You know, and that's just some of the auditor's costs too.
Sure.
The ones that talk about it.
I was just surprised the way that was written. You'd think it'd been, when the president signed, to be like, we're gonna be on, you know, the 19th of June commencing 2022, but sign it on Thursday and put it into effect on Friday, like, whoa.
And the clerk of courts didn't know about it until after 5.
Yeah.
And that was just,
So we didn't even give you time to plan for not being there that next day, so.
Yeah, well, like the post office, my son works for the post office, they didn't get it.
Well, they didn't.
No. And they even worked on Saturday,
Did you see
you
that?
know.
And, you know, and the union is trying to get a holiday.
Kind of expensive The only thing I wonder if it should say abandoned right away,
Abandoned,
because it's been abandoned.
okay.
Sure. If that was done before this property, he would be aware of it. It should be, that's his responsibility.
You think he'd know where his property lines are.
You think when you have a deed, it should say, should spell out where it is.
Well, especially with Lake Shore, which,
We have any idea at when that 33 feet was abandoned or
Vacated, you need to call it vacated or abandoned?
Vacated, yeah.
Vacated.
because perhaps that be put in there? If we know the date.
2000.
2000, or, yeah.
He bought the property in
2007.
2007.
Yeah, I think it was vacated in 2000.
So, yeah, I would put that in there. When we
Yeah.
bought the property,
It was already vacated when you bought
see,
it.
that's,
So it was
I think that was
abandoned
fine.
in 2000?
You got questions, you can call them, get clarification.
Vacated or
Sure.
abandoned?
vacated.
It says vacated, I think.
I think you say it was vacated in 2000.
You would have thought you would have bought in 2007.
You sure
You
was
want
so.
that, you can send it?
Yeah, I think so.
You got if someone tried to take it away from you, you'd have been aware of it.
What do you got, Chairman?
Well, if somebody would start going.
Put all the bills?
Yeah.
For what, I make a motion?
That's attention real quick.
Pat's not in
Yeah,
yet,
he'll
so just wait until Pat maybe when Pat comes in, he may be bringing bills. So,
He might.
hold your horses, okay? So,
You don't get the lead when she leaves, it's me and her.
Just you and her?
Yeah, you can pay bills later.
20 after that one. An hour and 20 minutes. 50.
Who's counting?
Neither of them will take one.
No. Not unless Dennis got off talking about.
Me? No, we gotta get Kay out of here in an hour, right?
Under together.
Oh, wow, okay. We gotta get moving. We have I'll call it a bill, or a resolution to continue support from First District Association local governments. Our 2022 contribution is going to be $20,158.75. I think that must be up for about $1,000 maybe. Seems to me it was about
The
19,000.
building paid for it.
So that's for 2022. Is this just a,
it's a resolution.
okay,
So
so we're
we're-
not paying it yet?
No, we're not paying it.
When do we usually pay it?
We,
First of the year.
yeah, sometime during the.
All right.
And then on top of that, we have the maintenance on the GIS too, right?
Yeah.
Comes back.
You know, okay, question. Previously, this is based on our 2010 census. Okay. The 2020 census should be coming out.
We don't have it yet.
I know, but will that change the due structure?
Better numbers you can get up, don't you think? Population
Or
wise.
I believe everything across the country is going to be down.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
good.
Because people just didn't do it.
Oh,
I mean, that's
in terms of filing. yeah,
Oh, you
okay.
think, oh.
But if everybody's down, it's probably, proportionately, it's maybe not changing anything.
Yeah.
But I mean, their structure is based upon census.
If they have a full dollar amount in mind and they divide it all proportionally, if everybody's goes down, your proportion share would be the same. How that is going.
Yeah, he's not gonna lower his operating budget probably.
We'll probably change the
Yeah.
structure.
Yeah, we'd be paying a larger percentage on a smaller population. You know, I wonder, I know he doesn't seem to get outside of his office very much anymore. I wonder if that's gonna be as a result of COVID that kind of stays that way, and he tries to do things remotely through video conferencing or the like, but some of that stuff would be pretty tough to do without face to face.
That way then we can.
I watched the city council meeting, and we had two presenters that used Zoom on the big screen TV.
I think it's,
I send it in.
I would have bought into that Zoom way back when, it might have been Rich Man.
Yeah, I talked to them.
The guy that runs that code enforcement
Then
company,
it's just the amount.
Oh, yeah.
he was one of them. Came in by Zoom meeting.
Well, maybe they should be able to lower their prices if they have to, you know, some of that stuff, you're probably jumping on a plane from someplace outside the area and flying in, so then like a hotel, rent a car. They should be able to present their services at a cheaper rate at some point in time.
Right, yeah.
Is there a motion to approve the resolution to continue to support the First District Association by Carlson? Is there a second for this? By Zempel. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries.
Pat? According to the boys, you did a nice job on that blacktop in front of Bucks.
Oh, yeah,
They-
7/10 of a mile.
Yeah, they were driving the last couple of days. Boy, this is really nice. We should do this in front of your house down there. They said, yeah, I wish we could, but we can't.
Boy, you did a good job.
Yeah, compliments us on the road.
Well, and that-
You can only do so much, and we gotta move on. That's
Yeah, that, you know, I had a couple people, I said, how come they didn't do the last mile? We had a lot of miles to do.
Yeah, 1 mile's still gonna be awful bumpy, but we
Yeah,
got a
well,
lot of
maybe next year we'll get that mile, but I said, we got.
And it is rough, I mean, they're all rough, them damn semis, there's like, what, 1,000 every half hour, I mean, it's just nuts. And I tell you, the traffic's really going around, we're down by south in the valley, and everybody's driving that, semis, wide roads.
Across,
campers,
across
all
what?
going
Across where?
South of Crown Valley on 24. They're going through there because they don't want to go to interstate. They don't
Oh,
want to-
oh,
They
sure.
want to go to Wilmot, they're coming from Minnesota, and they're coming all over through there, and it's
Yes.
like, it's just crazy.
You got a lot of semis in front of my place too that you don't normally see on there, so
See,
they're
all
just jumping
over.
off the
Yeah, they're
interstate.
Jumping off, and they're
Yeah.
finding roads and they're going
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 1,300 cars a day at Bucks, you know, and then you get over to the valley, and it's the same over there.
Yeah.
It's the same traffic going back, but it's like, man, this is killing us.
Yeah.
But,
You get no sympathy from the state.
no, exactly, and then, you know, you got wide load signs, no permits, and you got people hauling loaders and going everywhere, I'm like, what in the hell? You know, it just, ain't nothing you can do, but
That's right, that
they
construction.
wave right by it.
That construction zone just says find alternate site.
Did they never tell you which way to go?
If
You
you're
can
over width,
find
yeah.
alternate routes, all you
Yeah,
do, and you find.
alternate route.
Which one by Wilmot?
Oh, I think it's.
Right up here in
by-
Kansas.
It's up by the interstate,
Yeah.
yeah, they
Yeah,
got
before you hit
plenty of
that.
signs up
Oh,
there.
yeah, one by Wilmot, that's it.
What are they actually doing on the interstate? It looks like they're digging out underneath the bridges, right?
Yeah.
Making it lower
They
than
have
your
to- They have to undercut the bridges and then they.
Right, they're gonna do it over the top of the existing.
Their asphalt.
Yeah. Okay.
But they're already, you know, all the way up here, with this concrete's already up by the, by the scale almost.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah,
God.
they've already went from north this way already.
I guess I've never been on the interstate at all hardly, so.
I can't believe how fast they're going.
Oh, man, they started out already, already had that wow, but they're really going
Oh,
fast.
yeah, all the rocks, all the time.
Well,
So I got news from Jerry, said hopefully by the end of the month, if not the end of the week, that new blade is up getting the snow equipment on up in the falls up there. And so we're working on the amortization schedule. I forgot, I dropped the ball, I should have did it 2-3 weeks ago to get this in for the budget, but Don and I are working on it, and also we're working on amortization schedule that hopefully get to the new truck in March and April, so we got what we want to do for in March and April. So we're working on that, got that going. So that's the only updated news on that. I talked about the inspection on our underground tanks last week. Cost me, it was $1,095 for that guy to inspect everything. And I got a bid from O'Day, from the guy that's they do send a crew down to dig it up on the caps, for the fill caps and that, it's for the spill buckets. They'll do all that work, and he said if you go with the fiberglass ones, you know, then you don't have to have them inspected every 3 years anymore. And he said that's what everybody goes to nowadays, and it just lasts. And so then we don't have to do all the inspections every 3 years, and then just do the other inspections every 3 years, which is the chaotic ones. And anyway, the overfill protection, all the work that they have to do for that, which I told you was gonna be pretty expensive, $10,027 to fix those. There's gonna be-
$10,000?
Exactly. So both of them would get done, and luckily, you know, there's no concrete, so they don't have to put a bid on breaking concrete and moving that. So they'll come in whatever date I can. I have the application here in the bid. All I have to do is sign it, saying I accept it, take it back to whatever sent out. And then we'll set up a date so we can get it done. So
Where do they come out of?
they come out of Fargo, OD. They do all the local gas stations, do all the monitoring. They put our monitoring system in a couple of years ago, they do all that, so.
How are the tanks? Do you have any idea?
Yeah.
In our minutes said that there would be a report coming
I got the report,
of the results of the inspection.
all that's on my desk, it's a 3-page report and it's got all the stuff on that he inspected. And so, everything is good other than the spill buckets, so.
Are we thinking about, if we build a new building, moving anything around?
No, we won't move
You would
them.
never move that?
Yeah, they're all right in the center of the yard, you won't move them. Just been driving around them for 35 years.
Okay, what about this fiberglass?
That's just what they recommend to go with the spill buckets, what they replace them with. So then you don't have to, if you don't do it that way with the spill buckets, then you gotta still, inspect them, and they're still, every 3 years.
So this $10,027, does that include the fiberglass thing?
Yeah, that includes everything that we.
What they're suggesting.
That means all the spill buckets, everything, the tubes going down, the spill tubes, everything.
What exactly is spill bucket?
When you fill up with when you unload with your diesel
Yep.
tank transport, you have to have a spill bucket where, in case
If he
it's
spills,
trapped, if something will spill on top,
yeah,
around the top of the tank,
Yep.
it won't contaminate everything, go on the ground.
all right.
So
So how big a thing is a spill bucket?
they're not that big because the spill buckets and all it is that when they spill on top of the ground, it's not for a major spill.
So is it the whole containment thing that it sits in, or?
Nope, it's just, all it is a spill bucket, it's only 5 gallons on top of each one.
Oh,
That's where it catches when the nozzle trips, and if it doesn't trip right away.
so that backs out and then it goes down into the tank as
It'll
well?
go, there's tubes that go on the side of the tank that go down,
Okay.
and then it comes back around.
How many buckets are we talking about here?
Just to,
For $10,000?
but it's not just the buckets, there's a whole deal here. You got your 705 series spill bucket 5-gallon fiberglass risers, the pipes and the adapters. And you got your filling 708 series overfill prevention valve and drop tubes. And I got one laying outside, he took one out. Those drop tubes go in there on both of these on the side. And then you got your adapters, the caps, and then you got the placards that gotta go on there. And so what they'll do is they'll dig down to the tank to the top, around the existing spill buckets, remove existing spill buckets and drop tubes, install new riser pipes, overfill prevention flapper valves and spill bucket assemblies, backfill around the new spill buckets and compact soil, test and ensure working condition of installed equipment. It's not a lot of stuff, but you get paid good for doing it.
Yeah, no kidding.
What if they're coming all the way from Fargo? Like,
And Fargo, they come here all the
$1,000
time.
to-
We've had them working on stuff before. We've had them put our monitor in and looked at our pumps before. They go to Stilson's, they go to K&K,
And
they're
they're
here all the time.
like the only game in town.
They're only
right?
game in town,
Yeah.
very local, otherwise you gotta go,
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it. There's no competition, so.
Does the report say the condition of the tank and
The condition of the
life
tanks,
expectancy and all that kind of stuff? or-
the tanks are, they have a different test for that, for rusting and corrosion.
Right,
And they have those tests that we do, well, now every 3 years they do that too. Before it was like every 5 or 10 years, you know, but these tanks have been in there. I'd have to go back and look if they were put in, I don't know, Don would ever remember, but if there was in the 80s sometime, or the 80s. They're 2 10,000 gallons, which you only get 90, 95, 97, 100 gallons in each one, but they're 2 10,000 gallons.
So if they're put in, oh, sorry, go ahead.
How are the tanks now?
Yeah,
They're fine, they're good, just nothing wrong with the tanks.
but we have a report that shows that?
Yeah, I had the 3-page.
They're from the 80s, I would think that they'd be about the end of their life cycle, wouldn't they?
I think so.
You know, we have, can't think of the name, they have,
Magnesium,
their probes that are down
Oh.
there. There's probes under the ground that they check.
Constantly checks the oil leaks.
It's oxidation,
Okay.
and it checks, and that's always checked for these things.
So are they steel tanks coated with fiberglass or
No, they're just.
just steel
They're
tanks?
steel tanks.
Double wall.
Double wall steel tanks they put in. But, you know, they're down in containment in the ground as long as they ain't getting, you know, water and moisture and all the crap all the time around, whatever, it's, you know. But this has been ongoing since they put them in the ground, so. Because we had the old stage shop, you know, and we dug all that out and removed the stage shop. And we had, used to have some old pumps laying over there up above ground, you know, and that's all been removed years ago. Because see, we have those monitoring spots in the yard. They
Sure,
can check
yeah.
it. We took one of them and concreted the one by the, coming into the driveway, you know, when we redid the driveways coming in, when they did the roundabouts. I had to get permission from Pierre, from a guy that put concrete in that one test too, because it was too close to our driveway, we had to cut it off. Concrete, cut it off, to cover it with gravel, so that's all done, and that's, you know, that's the deal, so, gonna be doing that.
I guess you don't really have much choice but to
Yeah, it's
put the
basically,
new things in, huh?
basically get the bin, do it right, and, you know, he assured me to do it that way, because then you don't have to do your tests every 3 years like they're making us do now. And it'll be done, and we're not putting concrete around, it's always gonna be in dirt there. If you haven't got it fixed again, it's just a little less money, but it's still all money.
If you ever have to replace those tanks, that's a major job then, I would guess, huh?
Yeah, you have to dig them all.
10,000, well, $10,000 tanks, double wall, that's gotta be a ton of money right there,
Yeah.
plus all the labor associated with it.
Yeah, I have all the stuff that, when they put them in, you know, it has the drawings and it has the dimensions.
Sure, yeah.
We have the whole folder on it, you know, my monitoring system goes every weekend. I mean, it tests every week,
Yeah.
you know, so we test the water, the moisture, and how much is in there. And it tests, you know, everything, how many gallons, I mean, that whole thing is done every weekend.
Yeah.
If the alarm goes off, you have to worry, but we got no warnings.
But the report doesn't say anything about a 40-year-old tank, you know, with the life expectancy.
No, it's not none of that on there. It's just their inspections, what they did, what they didn't. Stuff.
And they do inspect the tank though.
They don't inspect the tank itself, but
Okay.
they do that, yes, they do test it. It's called the chaotic test, where it tests how much it's corroding, if it's corroding, and it's not corroding. So it takes a test on the outside wall of the tanks. It's kind of hard to explain right now in 5 minutes.
But you have in black and white that, you know, it's okay.
Yeah, someday it might not be okay, you never know, but that's why you
It'd be
test
kind of
it.
nice to plan for a $100,000 repair though.
Yeah. And I can give you more info when it was
What was that, you
done.
think, is that what it would cost to replace them?
I'm just
Well, yeah,
throwing numbers out in the air,
Yeah,
but it's,
Well,
it's gonna
One
be a
phone
lot
call
more
to
than what you'd
Stilson's,
think
they
it
just
would be.
redid all the things at Stilson's, they put new stuff in over there, I mean, it'd be one phone call, I can guarantee you. The cost of what it costs a month.
You could almost be set aside money for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Haven't decided if we're gonna do something with the building out there, maybe there's a better place for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I bet you would be a big number though.
Well, I'm sure.
Especially if you did both of them, you know.
There's no reason
5-gallon bucket is $5,000.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, well, I just know those big tanks, like the farmer's been putting up those 15, 20,000 gallon LP tanks, they're like $50,000, $75,000. I think they're used, most of them, right? So I assume it'd be something similar to that in cost.
I would
See, they do,
And they sit on top of the ground, so they might be protected from
this is
moisture.
hydrostatic testing is what they do on.
Do they still do it underground? Is that,
Tank, I guess they do gas stations and all
All
that.
the gas stations, they put that all in, they just put it right back in the ground again.
They're using metal, or do they use
I don't know.
fiberglass?
I don't know
I was
what
thinking
Stillson's put in.
Carl Nealon did his, I thought they went with a composite, like fiberglass or something. They didn't use
And
metal.
Stillson's, better than, I don't know.
Yeah, when we built our house, we buried our propane tank. It was a special tank that had some kind of coating around it, like, I don't know what.
Yeah.
And they hung a magnesium bag on top of it, which was supposed to
Yep.
defer rust or something, and backfill
Keeps the
with
rust
sand, so it all was
Keeps
supposed
the
to
rust
drain away and
away.
everything. I have no idea how long that's gonna last. I'm sure it's gonna last until I fill it up, and that's gonna, I'm gonna lose all my gas, but. Yeah, mine's been around for 24 years.
well, you might lose more than that.
Yeah. Boom.
Driving your mower over the top of it.
Yeah, I hit that every once in a while. It's got a little tank cover that sticks up on top, kind of bounce off that every once in a while.
The spark would be good on that kind of deal.
Boom. Adios, Carlson.
I read somewhere on this Recovery Act, these funds we're supposed to be getting, they're relaxing the regulations on them,
Yeah.
and they're promoting tourism, so I'm wondering if our CT Hollow Road, when that gets done, if that money can come out of that. And it's funny that you're not getting anything from First District, any guidelines whatsoever?
You're talking about that money for the township roads? you mean?
No, it's
No,
actually
no.
$2 million we're
Yeah.
supposed to get.
No, we haven't gotten anything from them because they're still waiting too. You know, there's been a lot of emails from auditors back and forth. So,
It's funny you're not getting anything because they're talking about regs have been relaxed, all this, that, whatever. Only thing I can figure out is it's being in the Federal Register and you have to publish for so long
Oh,
before
sure.
the final rule, they call it a
yeah. And I haven't taken the time to go on to that.
But we are registered, because I think that was a step we had to do.
Yeah, we're registered, yeah.
So
Right.
that's something we can, maybe with those funds, we might be able to do some things.
We gave tours about a highway shop, maybe get a new shop out of it.
You're gonna get some extra funds, we got a lot of us in Pottsville, it's up to you.
But the last thing I read was on, well, was it
Yes.
not in our,
It was in that
our,
thing.
that
Yeah.
publication we get?
Yeah, county comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The first draft I saw, I don't know what they were qualified, but I think that everybody's probably gonna say, well, okay, we allocate all this money, but we can't spend money, okay, we'll have to relax some of the
Yeah,
requirements.
give all the money back.
Yeah, otherwise we'll put it all back.
Then speaking of the funds, now that funds that are sending you guys, counties, for those township roads and bridges, now that was like $68,000 that are on this
Yeah.
county's getting. They'll have to go into a separate fund again, and then we have to go out and do, that's for the inventories of the bridges and culverts over.
Just to do the inventory?
60 square feet, just to do the inventory on all this townships.
Yeah.
And it ain't a lot of money, but, they go out and do that, and they don't have any rules, they don't have any guidelines of how they want this done. And so, that's all it is.
Until you do it, then it'll be done
So
wrong, they
that
won't give you the
three-
money.
$3 million divided up by all the counties, so we end up with 68,000. And then the other 3 million come in for construction, but nobody knows the guidelines and how they're gonna do anything yet, so we're waiting to hear that.
But don't the townships have to apply?
Well, they're supposed to, they don't have that necessarily in the guidelines, because technically, when we had our meeting in March, they were throwing it out, throwing us all under the bus, and I was superintendent's supposed to go out and review all this, check them all, and we'll do all this inventory on all these roads and all these bridges. What we ain't gonna do. How are we supposed to do that with what we got now?
Yeah.
And so, we're waiting to hear what the guidelines are, and then we will all try to figure out you know, we go see and get the inventory, and then we be the ones to decide who's gonna get money to go do this, or money to go do that. For case wise is when we just had, what's his name, and by Walmart, they just put that bridge in, and then he was all worried that some other towns was gonna get money from the county now, and they're doing it on their own. Well, I said, hey, you know, that ain't gonna happen, we got all this money. We got somebody coming in just to do that, and they already did their bridge, so.
They didn't come yet.
I don't even know, they didn't do it yet
I
either.
don't think so.
And that was after he.
After the fact, yeah, I mean, it'd be unfortunate for them. but-
That's another fund of money, $68,000, that is gonna be coming, you know, it's gonna have to be set aside.
Speaking of all this special money, we got that, what, $400,000 a couple of years ago we had to spend within
Yeah, we got
3 years.
some next year.
We're applying a lot of that to the
Just
easements.
20% was
To
on
be
this.
used up, and we no problem getting rid of that money, I guess.
20% went on this big bridge, we
Yeah.
had $197,000 that paid.
Cents. Okay.
And then we got 2 more bills of Clark's checks coming in, then we'll get reimbursed 80%. Then we should have $200,000 left, and then 250 maybe. When this is all said and done, get the bills done, then Don and I will sit down and get that fund where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, just wanna make sure we don't miss that
Because the
out.
whole deal is, if the bridge starts at Beaver and we get the money from an advertising for that, it was in the Shota, Courier, trying to get, so we could bid that.
Oh, for Beaver Flats, they're ready to bid that out?
So, we got them in the Beaver advertising,
Oh.
hopefully, so we can get bids.
So they got their, the BA
Well,
came through,
that's what
or?
he
These are
said,
just
but I don't
spares,
know
right?
if
So when
that's
the
the money
originals
at the
are
time
out.
I talked to him. Well, you know,
Okay.
that's $55,000 our share, so, you know, if I have to use it, I have to go
spare set.
contact Cody and Peter and tell them to add that on to the list.
Yeah.
It is on the plug list, I wouldn't have to add on, but I have to have it.
So there
So I,
bids to get done yet this year, is that the idea?
yeah. So we got a lot of items in the fire next year, we got 5 other bridges
Yeah.
next year. So that's what we have, why I raised my budget, because it was 4 or 5 bridges that we added on next year, but hopefully they're only gonna be about 6-7%.
So I'm gonna call Bob Metz and give him an update on this, so we're already asking for bids on
We're
that.
asking, we're advertising in there that we're, want to do the project.
Yeah, we are the tribe is.
Tried this.
Okay, all right.
And so we're hoping that we can go
Get
out
it
and do bids.
And get it done yet
around
this year.
summer.
All right, I was
That's
just giving an
kinda
update
where
on
we're at
that
right
then.
now. He said they're getting the money, but he didn't say anything.
Yeah.
It's
And I don't-
it's like pulling teeth.
I don't know if that's typical, I mean, they go ahead and start a project and just anticipate they're gonna get the money.
Remember we
or-
had the meeting way back. when-
Oh, yeah, a couple years ago.
This was all in the script program.
Yeah,
and then-
yeah.
And just, usually they used to take 5 years to do one bridge.
But if they're asking for bids, they must be fairly confident
Yeah,
that
so-
they're gonna get it, so. All right, good. Okay.
That's all I have to ask.
We got a couple things for you. Go ahead.
Dates are coming up, they wanna come up with scrapers.
I heard that this morning. They're gonna have to get a permit. I suppose I'll have to waive it because it's from the damn county landfill.
Well, we don't make a lot off the permits anyway.
$300
Oh.
a piece, but whatever. Yeah, I just heard this morning, these are saying they're level up. So they wanna drive up from down by Corona?
They're right back Corona now,
Okay. When did they wanna move up though?
end of the week.
Okay. That'd be no problem. They can hurt the roads anymore.
Whatever, you just is running by.
Just so he knows, yeah, but he got my number, mates can call me.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
They're gonna have to.
They'll have to have an honorary permit or whatever, we'll have to send them one, to get on the road if they get pulled over.
Yeah, that's.
It'll just be a regular permit like we normally
Yeah.
do. But we won't charge.
They say your county's made many thousands of dollars by being low bidder on that.
Yeah, they do.
You're gonna waive it, but I'll tell them to call you.
No, they just
They
need to
can
get
get a
a,
permit, but we'll.
just need to get a permit, but it won't be a cost for that one. Yes.
Okay.
On the road groomer, is this back page, are these spare cut
That's the
lights?
extra set. I
So
got
when the
carbides on.
originals wear out, then you put these on?
I got the carbides on now, the original ones are on pallet for spares.
They're the spare.
Yes, because I had them put the carbides on right away, because they get them. So so then I'd be ready to go, so I would have to think around and change them.
Have you
But the
tried,
other bigger ones are gonna be out of the town.
have you tried it? Too dry, eh?
Well, I've been trying and we're paving, I got everybody working on the road right now, so trying to get a way, so we'll try it out.
From Brown's Valley then just where you going next, this,
Well, we got Schmidt's Landing, we gotta do Schmidt's, or down on 4, we gotta get those
That's right.
fixed. And we gotta get 15, 22 a few patching, and then we got 34 to go on, so. Once we get done on 24, we'll be.
like 11, there's just a couple small spots.
Yeah, 11 is another one, up on the list, yeah. Yeah,
West,
Schmidt's and 11 West, up in the hills on 15, 22, there's a lot of big areas. 25, I could give you this long. And they're really bad, right? They're really bad.
as far as that 24 and 3 miles, you're gonna spend a lot of.
3 miles where?
Right across from 9 or whatever, right across from the Valley Road, you know, the one, the new tar road, where it turns into gravel, it only goes 2 miles to no place, it's only, West McCollum, 11,000, living there.
Oh, you're talking on 24 where?
Right
Confused the way
on the
you,
Valley Road.
on the valley road. Where we're at paving now.
Yeah, well, it's paved now, but I mean, you ain't gonna fix a lot of that hole right there. Ain't nobody living long then.
24 is where we're at now, south of the valley, south of 24.
Yeah,
And we're going around the curves right now. Are
yeah.
you talking about that 24 that goes down?
No, the one where it comes around,
You're not talking about Bullet or?
where it comes 11, where it comes off from 11 there, that's where it ends. Needs the Valley Road down. Where Randy's tired there, you know, in a couple miles.
Oh, yeah, the one that we turned in, tar road on 24, the one where Backman's is there, that farm and that. Well, there wasn't a lot of breaking.
I didn't
but-
see any, no, there's only 11,000 down there.
Oh, yeah, Ken lives down farther, you're talking about his brother John lives
Yeah,
there.
John,
You're talking about through there, no, I haven't planned on doing anything there.
yeah.
Because I don't even know if there's any breakups there yet.
I haven't seen nothing big, I haven't had like more complaints.
There was too much 24 in my head, so we're gonna be, no, we're not doing anything there yet. But we haven't going, you're talking about going west of 4, west of the Browns Valley Road, going west.
Yeah, that means something.
That means quite a bit, but we're just gonna do it.
And then down by the lake, that guy called, whatever, it was up here, you know.
Yeah, well, the lake is one thing, I got a culvert to take out there.
Yeah.
We got the middle that needs to be done, and we'll have to see where we're at. So,
Done. This is the incident report from the sheriff's office on that bridge damage.
okay.
It's gonna take some more legwork because we already knew that Bradley Miles was the guy that hit the bridge. But there's nothing in here about Bradley's address, phone number, insurance information, none of that. So.
Give it to me, I'll take care of it. I'll talk to Tyler and I'll get some more information on it.
Get outside, yeah.
They have Tyler working on that deal with that shrine down there on 4, and we haven't got anywhere, he hasn't got back to me. I don't want him touching that stuff. So he gets, the paperwork done, we're supposed to contact the family, tell them we need to knock this off, we're doing this. And I haven't got anything back from Tyler, so, I'm not gonna go ripping that out.
But they're getting quite a deal there now, ain't they?
They've been around a long time since they dug in the heart, that we already talked
They're getting
about.
more and more lights all the way
That's
around.
not-
Where's this at?
On that cemetery thing, or not
I'm
cemetery?
not gonna, I can't jump in 2 feet.
Oh, I used to haven't been by there in a while. They got lights on there now?
I have to go do that.
Solar lights, I mean, it's good up like.
I'm not gonna do it until Tyler gets contact with the family. The county highway, shot at it. I don't wanna interfere with that type of thing, even though it's in the right of way. We go mow around it, they'll be.
But it can also be very distracting. There's lights at night and you think somebody's in a ditch or whatever.
So Tyler and I will have to all that. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Well, Pat, you always talk about getting those sheets you give us just every month that showed how much money come in, how much money we spent. Can we start getting them again, or?
We got it right now, we just got to do an update application.
All right, perfect.
That bridge stuff done
Yeah, okay.
on that money.
All right, good enough.
All right, thank you. See you later.
All right.
Sorry.
Hey, you guys heard this, man, it's getting hard to come back.
Well, I guess I hadn't heard it. Doesn't surprise me, I mean, that everything else is going crazy, can't get anything.
West of Wilmot, talking like you, I've been drought out now for 2 months, but they said the smell is getting tougher.
I don't think they never saw that.
Oh.
That's that second amendment deal.
See, lumber prices are coming, well, I don't know if they come down to lumber yards yet, but they said that the Board of Trade had gone down like 40% now. Hey, Tyler? Hi, Leland.
5 for South Dakota, North Dakota's got 3 that way.
All right. So your total today is 57. We show only 3 U.S. Marshal Service because we just had 11 put on the airlift this morning. So we had 11 leave today. We actually had 5 come yesterday. 2 of those were just overnights until they could get on the airlift today. So there's more coming this week. So
When you say airlift, are they flying them in?
they fly them out typically.
Fly 'em out?
Typically they're driving them here and dropping them off and then they're flying them. They fly them out.
Where do you gotta take them to?
Out to the airport.
They will, man.
Yeah.
Really?
So,
That's the first I ever heard that, I didn't.
so,
I wasn't aware of that either.
so, yeah, they come and go on the airlift.
Okay.
So, I don't have a lot for you guys this week. It's been just kind of
That's what I
busy.
like to hear.
Yeah.
That's what we like to
Busy,
hear.
nothing extraordinary, just busy and lots of stuff going on, so. Janessa's team, all last week, were finishing up, some of the online training that they have to do for the new software that they're doing, so, they were busy doing that. Deb, in the front office, her husband is dealing with some health issues, so she's been out of the office, and she's gonna be getting back to me either probably today or tomorrow on what her plan is over the course of the next couple of months. They're not quite sure how much she's gonna be needed. She's gonna be needed at home more, and if that's the case, she's gonna be out of the office. Unfortunately, it happens to be a month away from when we also do Sean, so her baby. So we're kind of scrambling to try to figure out what we're gonna do, how we can maybe figure things out while they're gone. Other than that, we're 2 officers short for the National Guard, and they'll be getting back here just after the 4th of July. So we're a little short-handed right now, but so I saw me still out last night.
Yeah, I saw you at the game. Were you pulling the shift then, or?
Yeah. I was out till about 9 o'clock all week.
Okay.
So we got 3 officers to cover, 3 of us to cover the whole week, so we're short-handed.
So were we involved in an incident west of town last night?
Yes, there was a pursuit that started I actually had an officer coming in. They had a busy weekend. He wasn't able to get to some of the reports that the state's attorney needed for today. So he was coming in at 5 o'clock. The city PD started a pursuit in town. The car was coming right at him while he was on his way to work. So he got involved with the pursuit. We ended up west of town. Just on Lorry Road between about 2 miles north or south of Lorry Road out there, and in the middle of a cornfield. Yeah, a couple $1,000s worth of damage to the field that the guy drove through, and then both individuals jumped out of the car and took off, and we were able to catch both. So
Nobody got hurt, got them both, that's
Yep.
right. Yeah.
I know somebody that was coming in from the west when that was happening. It's absolutely lucky that nobody was killed.
yeah, he said that when he was coming towards him, he was driving in his lane of traffic, and it's like, I know I was supposed to get to work and get these reports done, but
Yeah.
Change plans. They drove through the yards and stuff out by the Buddy Nelson Apartments, just north of town here by housing, and then they took off.
Outstanding warrants on them or something like that?
Had 2, and then drug related
Oh, okay.
stuff too, so.
Well,
But yeah, there were 3 highway patrolmen in the area, so they were coming to help. There were 2 tribal police officers that were there trying to assist as well. So yeah, it was a multi-agency effort.
hmm.
But they are both currently in jail now, so. That's all.
That's what I like to hear, Tom.
When you get caught up and you have some breathing room, we're required to do an inspection once a year,
Okay.
and it's kind of that time of year. We should probably be thinking about doing that. So you can just let us know, Tyler. when
That'll work. I have
T-bones are on the menu, we'll be there.
I have had, been doing meetings, every other week with kind of the heads of every department, trying to make things a little bit more efficient. That way we can all get together and talk about what needs to get done in each area. So I have had them working on especially our maintenance group too, working on a couple things to get done and whatnot. So I'll have them make sure that those things I have them working on get done. That way they're see the efforts.
You'd be short today because Curtis is leaving and Wallace is leaving.
He will be, he's gone, well, he's gone now.
He's gone,
He
all right,
left
okay.
now, and then, yeah, he'll be gone again in the end of the year. So, yeah,
No chance of getting Curtis to stick around with the long Reynolds.
I think he is.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I think that's kind of the plan. I think what we're gonna try to do is try to figure out a schedule for him that just, he can retire a little bit.
Sure, yeah. No,
But
makes-
also pass on some of the stuff that he knows.
Great, good idea.
To somebody as well. So when it came about, he kind of volunteered that, yeah, we'll figure out a way to kind of stick around and help
Okay.
us through that transition time.
Good.
So that's that. Anybody else has any other questions?
You want a motion to approve the Marshall County contract? We need a Carlson, second by Tim. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
All right.
That motion carries.
One thing I did want to, that I kind of forgot last week, and somebody mentioned to me that was watching the live stream, is we talked about the reward that I put out on Facebook.
Mhm.
I just wanted to make sure that it's on there and that it's clear to you guys as well that that was just out of my own, that was not out of county funds or anything, that was out of my own account. So that was just one of those,
Your own,
things.
like your own personal pocket?
Yeah.
I don't know that that's necessary.
I think we better,
But there it is, and that's that's fine, we got that taken care of and everything, but we are working, one thing we are working on is, if you've ever heard of Crime Stoppers or Crime Watch, like the community crime watch groups, where we're looking at what it might look like to work with them. They're kind of like a nonprofit agency that also helps with things like that. So, you know, if in the future we would be able to, you know, maybe reimburse people for calling in, reporting crimes, helping us solve crimes that we have going on out in the communities. We're looking at some options like that.
I think especially down the road, if we knew that that was gonna come up, we could budget money for that.
Right.
I think there should be a policy written, and if we can find some funding,
Okay.
you know, what do other areas do, you know? I mean,
Well, the
what-
subject came up
Yeah.
at the last,
You know.
the subject came up at the last city council meeting. And Chief Croyman said the same thing, that he paid out of his own pocket
Yeah.
these rewards. And to me, that's not, we gotta figure out some way to get
Yeah,
that
we can't.
reimbursed.
I agree 100%.
That changes precedent to set.
Yeah, I don't think that's.
Well,
that's
and it
right.
was, you know, it's kind of one of those things where it was one of those crimes where you could tell it was probably a juvenile crime, and the incentive was more for somebody just to speak up, because sometimes a lot of times the word of mouth kind of goes, and if somebody doesn't know who they should bring it to, then it just kind of circulates, so. So we'll all work on something like that for the future, getting something in the policy or looking at what some of those other organizations might be able to do. Because it would be nice to be able to have something like that in some of the other communities. Because again, it'd be another opportunity for, you know, for our officers to meet with a group of people inside some of those communities and kind of have a captive audience to kind of bounce some questions off of maybe what they should be looking for, or what they should report, or who they should report certain things to.
And again, going forward, if we know, I mean, if you're talking a couple $1,000 a year or $20,000, then you have to define that, but I think that's something you put in the budget, and you can work with that at your discretion.
Well, and one thought that comes to mind too is maybe if you had the conversation with the contribution that we get from the coffee cup and stuff.
That'd be a great one.
I think there's some flexibility there that
Yeah.
Yeah.
if we could use some of
That's
those
usually
funds.
our-
That'd be a perfect spot.
$150 is, in my opinion, a small price to pay to solve the crime.
Yeah. Well, and in this particular case, it was kind of one of those things where I was getting lots of information, and we would have probably continued to chase a lot of different leads that would have ended up going nowhere and spending a lot of time going different directions, and it ended up kind of leading to a very quick solve.
If everyone's, I agree with this, I don't think that should come out of your pocket. I think we have to figure out some way to reimburse
Right.
it for $150, so
Yeah.
whatever that
We
takes.
just submit a voucher for it. and
Yeah,
figure out
whatever.
Where
Yeah.
it's going to come from.
I can do that. And I appreciate that.
You gotta, the crime solved, again, it's at a small price, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
All right, good. Thanks,
a lot.
appreciate it. Keep up the good work.
You want this covered?
I can take it out, work out tomorrow.
What? Do you think we need executive session to discuss personnel? Or can it be discussed in the open?
I'm not sure what it is, so when in doubt,
Yeah.
kick them out.
Yeah, we're gonna be talking individual names and stuff like that, yes.
We need a motion for executive session to discuss personnel by Zippo.
I don't know if that's what we got, is it a tick on his arm or what?
Second, Second by LaFave. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. Leland, you stay. But I think these are all
Maybe we put it on the phone, they got a week on it every time. They'll probably do it, they can do the one that I think.
Well, you'll have to let me know who that is, in those areas.
This is probably Mark, I don't know. If he called me, we sprayed this, I remember, I know that, well, I know.
I'm happy, I'm whistling. Whistle while you work. That's right, I do, by golly.
Phone number if you don't already have it.
I don't know what they say in the pickups, I mean, and I nothing wrong with that. Who didn't wanna? That's what I'm saying, it stunk up like quick.
Yeah, it's, you almost gotta keep throwing money at it, you know, it's just, yeah.
Remind them, because a lot of these, well, I don't know a lot, but people that rent pasture, don't control the weeds. And the people that own the pastures aren't controlling the weeds.
Somebody's renting it, so they
Didn't want to.
figure out between them. That was Kim.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All he does. That him, or not, that car, his is right in the middle. Kim is in the street that owns
This
it.
one, yeah, okay, that one.
Kim was the one that, was blowing on his, and he's not good, he goes, I mean, he really ridiculous. If you even play, I mean,
You know, I mean, buy it, you know.
driveway, granite, perfect building. We're talking about Kim's farm. I mean, you couldn't, I think he's out there with a tape measure,
Oh, I'm sure.
the width of his driveway, building, all, I mean, he's really,
I think he probably goes out and weeds everything by hand.
Okay, so that's the process that will go. You'll review the job description and then we'll make plans to advertise the position.
In August.
Probably August, is that?
Yeah, I think so. November, August. You may have to run for a while. I mean, last time I don't think you got a whole big response.
We didn't have nobody, we begged him.
I don't know if there's anything, well, April, I think, ran it a few weeks.
See if Tom is okay with that. Well, you did, right? Okay.
But, do you want all of you to sign that letter?
Sure, yeah. I don't care.
Just,
You or?
40?
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll have some questions.
Yeah.
Hey, good for you, and thank you, Leland.
Thanks again for all your good work there, Leland. We appreciate it.
The 18th, I sent one for Charles Brown, in the mail, but they're already cutting ditches everywhere, so there's no reason they can still go out and flip it, so I don't think I'll hear any more about that. I mean, it's been so dry that you can cut anywhere. You might be able to get fluid and everything else, so. Take this home and read it.
Yeah, check it over.
I'll get back.
Jill, or were you going to do a lot of this?
I went to Hanford.
Are we ready to go yet?
We're getting ready.
Who has the voter? Dave, are you?
Both of us. We're a team.
I'm the excuse.
We're a team.
Who's the team leader?
Is there a motion to pay bills?
I'll let her know.
Is there a second?
Thank you.
Can I pay bills now?
Sure.
Okay.
Rigel, second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion carries. What is left for us to do?
I don't think anything. Convert you from a lefty to a righty. That may take some time, but.
That was, geez, the purchase order, that's on the resolution.
We did that, yep.
Did that.
Is there a motion to adjourn by Faith?
So,
Second by Carlson. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
thank you, guys.
Aye, goodbye, I don't know, okay.
Thank you.
You guys have a fun trip.
I'm not going with her.
Oh,
I just want to get out of here.
No,
No, actually.
Thursday, but he was gonna make it up Monday.
This live stream is brought to you by Dakota Pawn and Thrift for all your pawn needs, Countryside Inn Assisted Living and Memory Care in Rossalt, where your family is our family, First Savings Bank of Sisseton. Use our online banking to save you time. Stilson Service in Sisseton with Marathon Fuels. Tri-State Water in Sisseton for all your water needs. Water softeners and reverse osmosis right here in Sisseton. And of course, the Sisseton Courier, where we do more than the weekly newspaper. Thanks for watching and have a great day.
Yeah.
you know, been over.
So read it in the big fish that bothered too much, or?
Yeah, gone.
Oh, yeah, no.
That way.